which channel gives the best return on investment. Now, how are my marketing activities performing? This is a small template that I normally give to people who wants to understand what I need to do next. Okay, it starts, if you look at, I'll start from the top right. Which channels are hard to predict and return growth for? Then which efforts are experiencing stable growth? Which channels return the most feedback for us to act on? Which channel is limited by the resource we have available? Which channels are the best resource intensive for return on investment positive? Now, these are all questions that you need to ask for your marketing activities. Which channels do I need better tracking on and understand their return? Now, which efforts are seeing faster momentum in return? Which channels return the most engaged users? I'm talking about all the digital platforms, all the SNS, social media networks, sites, all the kind of blogging sites, there are plenty of them, all the affiliate sites. So which channels might be the short-term loss but long-term gain? Which channel returns the highest lifetime value of the customers? Which channels are affecting other channels' growth because most of the channels are hyperlinked? There are interlinkages. So how Twitter influences somebody else, how Facebook is going to influence another user, what's the WhatsApp that is hyperlinked or CTA to another website, what kind of microsite involvements, what kind of landing page involvements are there. So both front links and back links matter. Which channels are, we'll discuss a little later on those things also. Which channels are affecting our other channels growth? Which channels have returned the most brand evangelist? Where do I get people like, let's say, Amitabh Bachchan to talk about my product? Or people like, let's say, Charles Correa, who's the, city planning guru, who talks about, okay, L&T, wow, these are the things that L&T has done in planning the city. Look at the smart cities that has been created. Look at this. So we need to understand those kind of evangelists. Where are they present? Which is a channel that they could use to talk about us? Now, let's look at digital and social. Digital and social media marketing is like this famous Dr. Dolittle's mythical animal called push me, pull you. Like two heads of one enigmatic animal, although joined by the same interactive digital body, these two marketing forms have often have polar opposite intentions and outcome. If you think they are the same, no. They can be different in many ways. Let's look at it in detail. Hip connection, heady confusion. That's the catchline that I always like. Why? Because bound at the hip by the internet, both digital and social media stream digital data into users' hands, heads, and hearts. So both offer digital media onto them. But while the two terms are often used interchangeably by mistake, social media marketing is actually just one of the several subcategories of digital marketing. While social media strategies are always digital, digital marketing is not always social. So social media is a great tool. But if you ask me, social media is the only tool that one should use? No. It should be a subset in any digital marketing strategy. The big digital marketing is the category is a big beast. So that's why I say big deal. It's a parent category of social media. And digital marketing actually delivers content immediately and can often be targeted to a narrow consumer. As I said, using geo-targeting, using localization, using hyper-localization, understanding the narrow demographics of the customer, understanding the online communities, that is deep delving into the segmentation. And while audiences are often small, yes, because you're doing hyper localization, the cost of creation and distribution can be little high. Why? Because you're doing customization, because you're doing localization, because you're doing hyper localization. And why do we do all these things? because the herd gets heard, meaning the community, when they talk, people listen to them. Like the Jayanagar community is talking about, yes, about the L&T. Or let's say the Delhi airport is talking about L&T. Or Hyderabad metro people are talking, hey, wow, metro, L&T. It's a community that you create. So there are three main kinds of non-social digital marketing. Now I'm saying, which is again important, which is not social, which is push, permission, and pull marketing. Push marketing is nothing, email marketing, sending them white papers across, sending them caselets across to your customers. These are all push marketing. And then asking them to review it or getting their comments across. Permission marketing is nothing but asking permission to send them emails. Today what we have is called DND, do not disturb. You have double DND again. I mean, if you have signed for DND, you can again ask whether are you willing to accept. So you need to have a disclaimer at the bottom. You need to have an unsubscribe, subscribe at the bottom. Those things are what we call. So internet marketing in some term is also called a permission marketing. And pull marketing is again be part of digital marketing, but not social media marketing. So these types of digital media marketing vary based on the degree to which the audience has a say in whether or not they want to be your audience. So it is up to them to decide. Social networks, they have joined in, but their own option. They have joined to connect with you. They've joined to connect with a group. So it's completely willful, participation within a group. So again, the herd gets heard. So the difference, understanding the difference of all these platforms is very critical. How? Social media, on the other hand, involves mutual engagement with an audience who shares a common interest with you. So already acceptable. So there's nothing called permission marketing. There's nothing called push pull. It's just that you're there on the social network. But yes, how best to use it? Because when you are in a social network, you should understand the group dynamics also. You cannot offend, because in WhatsApp, I know there are many people who sign in and then they quit because somebody has hurt their sentiments. This cannot happen. In a digital social media environment where there is a B2B interaction, understanding the difference of digital and social media will help you develop a marketing communication strategy that uses the right tools for your goals. Because what you use for your website, you cannot use for your social networks. Your social network sites need a completely different way of handling it. If you don't wrangle this unwieldy marketing animal, it can wander out of control or worse, go nowhere. And I call social media a double-edged sword. It can make and break relationship very easily. Anybody can put, supposing you are doing a great job, somebody can put a bad remark and a bad comment and completely derail your process. So that is why social media is always a double-edged sword. It can make or break a relationship. So let's begin with the website quickly, and then website location connected to the internet that maintains one or more web pages, resides in www, rendering by a web browser, hosts multivarious content, identified a domain name by referencing a URL, which is called uniform resource locator. Somebody calls it unique resource locator. Somebody may call it universal, but it all means the same. Formatted by hypertext machine language, transported by hypertext transfer protocol. That's all a website. You all know about it. Microsite is not a website. Is an individual web page, a small cluster of web pages that acts as a separate entity for a brand with no sitemap or navigations, normally read through a hyperlink or a CTA button, a call to action button. It can be a small video, it can be an image also. Genesis World Wide Web was created in 1990 by British CERN physicists. CERN is a Council Europea pour la Recherche. It's a French term for a nuclear research company. It's a European organization for nuclear research. And Tim Berners-Lee is the one who started it. Personal websites, commercial websites, government websites, non-profit websites, They're typically dedicated to a particular topic or purpose. There are many kinds of website classifications. I explain. The website can contain a hyperlink to another website also. You can have whole hyperlinks on your website about all your partner websites. Websites can be divided into two broad categories, static and interactive. Now, static sites serve as capture information but do not allow engagement with the audience directly. This type of website usually displays the same information to all visitors. The web pages are stored on the server in the format that is sent to the client's web browser. Text, images, audio, video, all might be considered static content if it plays automatically or is generally non-interactive. Interactive sites, a dynamic website is one of the changes or customizes itself frequently and automatically. It targets individuals and gives individuals what they want to see, what they want to hear. Server side dynamic pages are generated on the fly by computer code that produces HTML. So it's completely, login based. Somebody logs in, so understand the logger and give him what he wants. The current state of the dialogue between users monitor a change situation or provide information in some way personalized to the requirements of the individual users. So all these things are captured through RSS feeds, which I said, a rich site summary or really simple syndication. You see a dot and two arcs on top. They are the ones which start giving you automatically information on the browser habits. So there are a variety of websites. Many, like affiliate, you have your Amazon or all those e-commerce sites, your affiliate sites, agency sites, archive sites, tax sites, blog sites, brand building sites, corporate sites, dating sites, e-commerce sites, forum sites, gallery, gaming, government, humor, information, matrimonial sites, media, porn, research, rating, religious, social. All these are various kind of classifications. Landing page, a single web page that appears in response to clicking on a search engine optimized search result on a line, meaning a call to action button, and you land onto a product information page. That's called a landing page. A logical extension of an advertising search result or a link to convert site visitors into sales lead, particularly for lead generation. It could be an inquiry form, shopping cart, or a checkout area. That is called a landing page. It's not a different from a website. So website design and content, yes, space, simple navigation, about us, all these you can see from a site, contact information, then call to action button, sign up pages, search, footer information where you can give your site map, buttons, images, videos, web fonts, header on the top, year panels, footer, media data, drop down menu, updating, RSS and hyperlinks, all that. Okay, now I will look forward to your questions. Then we start. How do we benchmark?
So I'm back again for question and answer round. So we'll be having question and answer round. I would request all the participants to raise their questions and doubts through a chat box, which is on the topmost right of your screen. So before we start the question answer round, I would like to mention, as today our webinar is on digitization and L&T celebrates Safety Day with vision of zero accident. Let's use the digital concepts learned today to enhance a safety performance. Have a digital safe day. So I would request all the participants to please raise their questions through the chat box, which is on the topmost right of your screen, and send it to everyone. Okay, there is one question which has come from Biplab. What is the difference between website and microsite? So,
all the complete www, the complete website of a company, everything that is there in the URL becomes a website. A microsite is used for brand promotion. Microsite is used to give just a little information. It can be one page or a few pages, and it does not have any navigational tools. It's just that there is a CTA button or there is a hyperlink which has brought the customer to a microsite. So microsite is a subset of a website.
Thank you, sir. There's one more question which has come from Sachin. Can you please guide more on dynamic web pages and integration of RSS in real estate scenario?
Yeah. To create dynamic web pages, you need to have your own server that starts looking at the RSS and watch the customer behavior, and you have a complete program of creating the dynamic environment for uh, the customer to enjoy an interactive platform. A dynamic website is one which keeps on updating from its own server, a domain server, and that it handles several packages at the same time. So it is something which need to be created upfront. Otherwise, at the moment, all the websites that are there, they are just static websites. They are not interactive websites. I'm talking about L&T websites. And if you need to build in dynamism, you need to do a lot of investment in terms of creating a server, dynamic web server, and creating a RSS, program in a team.
Thank you, sir. There is one more question. Is there any other form of mass digital marketing other than emailers, website, and social media?
Yes, there are plenty. There are plenty of websites who can guide you. Like if you look at now, if you want to know about social media, there's a site called Social Samosa. There is something called Smart Insight, Dave Chaffee's Smart Insight. There are plenty of these kind of platforms that can give you information.
Okay. There is one more question from Sachin. Is it legal to crawl property aggregators and competitors' website? If yes, then can you suggest any tool for that?
It is illegal. You can visit your competitors' sites. You cannot crack into their, RSS information. You cannot crack into their, databases, which is completely illegal. In fact, it's a cyber crime. Now, when you ask me about tools, there are plenty of tools for cracking anything in this world. But at L&T, we want to remain ethical at all times. In fact, we don't have any competition with any of our competitors. We are only competing with ourselves. So we don't even look at a competitor side. We just look at the competitor side to understand what they're doing. That's all. Nothing beyond that. So we always compete with ourselves. Next.
Sachin, I hope your question has been answered. There is one more question from Nitish. With social media being a double-edged sword, we know if our business requires a social media presence ahead. Is it just dependent on the customers and their buying behavior?
All social media networks can become double-edged, whether it is Facebook or whether it is Twitter, because they have given license for people to do whatever they feel like. They are allowed to comment, they are allowed to review, they can do all kind of bullshit, what they want. Nobody can stop them. So it's up to us how to use it. Yes, when you know that there is some negative traffic happening, there are two ways of protecting it. One, you need to have an administrator to block it. Second, you can go on, the moment you find some negative comment, you can crowd your site, your entire, search engine result page in such a way that the negative comment goes below the fold. Everything else comes on top. So any kind of a blog site also, if you find there is a negative comment, you should immediately get your team active to put so much of positive message that on a SERP engine goes by chronological order. The search engine result page, SERP, goes by a chronological order. The moment you go on flooding, the entire negative comment goes down. And this is exactly what happens in a troll also, Twitter troll. Somebody trolls, the moment the troll happens, there are a lot of people who will put positive things to see that the troll is completely buried below. And when it goes below the fold, who can see it? And that happens very fast. Very, very fast. I hope I've answered.
Thank you so much, sir. Any more questions?